class is really about brain science, but it's the chocolate and brain science connection. But so you'll learn a little bit, you'll taste a lot, and so we hope most of you'll have a good time. And I want to introduce some precious girls. We could not do this. There's so many little pieces and parts without them, and we want to get a lot accomplished today, so I'm so grateful to have them with us. This is Jasmine. She is Pat Melton's granddaughter, and this is Amy O'Brien. She's my adopted granddaughter, and her best friend, my granddaughter, Brooke Duke. So we're so glad to have them, and so grateful for their help today. I'm going to say a little prayer, if you'll bow your heads with me. Father, we thank you that you invite us to taste and see that you are good. And Lord, I thank you for making chocolate and all the benefits that it brings us. And may it bless each person here today. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Come on in. Yes, come on in. So there are door prizes if you want to fill out those little small cards. And there's a bucket on that table that's empty. You can just drop it in there on your way out. And also there's tasting bags that are little gifts, one for each of you, that have different degrees of chocolate because you may not in the beginning love dark chocolate, but the more, the higher the numbers, the better for you. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I used to be a white chocolate person only, or milk chocolate, but I have learned to love dark chocolate. And when you hear the benefits, it just makes you want to give it a try. So how many here think dark chocolate is yucky? So we have some yucky ones. How many think it's yummy? Okay, good. It works doubly well for you. But the others, in the little bag, it starts at like 60%, and you actually get some of the benefits starting at 55%. So, work into it a little bit. And you'll taste in some of our presentation, like the tuxedo brownies. Now they make dark chocolate brownie mix. And these little guys are less than 100 calories. So it's good stuff. And, most of us at parties now, we usually eat just little bites anyway. So you get 48 out of one recipe. So I think you'll enjoy that as well. So you've got the recipe to take home. The girls are going to do a demonstration for you now. And the recipe for that, I didn't communicate well with the printer, and he thought I wanted 25. I wanted 25 copies of 4 Up, and so I didn't get enough recipes. But if you want a copy, I can text it to you, so put a cell number on there and a check markers, just something that if you would like it, or I might just text it to everybody. But it's worthwhile. So girls, I'll turn it over to you.
So hello, my name is Amy.
I'm Brooke.
And today we're going to show you how to make a chocolate bubble bath. So the ingredients you'll need are unsweetened cocoa powder, which is right here. And then you're also going to need instant non-fat dry milk. And then you can also get this it's unscented bubble bath, and this one is specifically from Walmart, but it's scented too, so you can also get unscented ones. And yeah. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is 1/8 cup unsweetened cocoa powder. And then you're going to need 1/2 cup of instant dry milk. Or 1/3 cup, sorry. And then you're going to need 1/2 cup of unscented bubble bath, but we're not really going to pour that in because you need to run it under bath water first.
That makes me we're gonna eat this stuff.
No, you absorb it.
And then you want to get a jar, like we're going to put this one in a jar so you can keep it and take it home. But you get a jar and then like you put your mixture into that jar.
You want to show the little one with the bows on it, maybe that's in the front?
Yes, right here.
So what's the consistency of it? Is it liquidy or
It's like,
like
well,
sand?
It's
yeah,
kind of like
a sand.
Sand, okay. Even after you have the bubble bath in it?
Well, you mix the bubble bath in when under the running water.
Oh, when
after
you do the
pour this.
water?
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay. That makes sense.
Y'all are doing great. You can scrape it in. Anyway. So are there any more questions about the bubble bath? I do know they now make the dark Hershey's chocolate cocoa powder, special dark. So a couple of the things about the skin and why the chocolate is good for you is, let's see, how are y'all doing back there? Okay, so dark chocolate contains minerals, and one is manganese, which supports the production of collagen. So the darker the chocolate, the more of that mineral. So there's
So what you're saying is that if we eat a lot of chocolate, we'll look younger? Because I'm in.
Yeah. It helps. It
New
does, but-
plan, new plan.
Yes. Other minerals are like calcium that repair and renew skin are in dark chocolate. And then high levels of antioxidants that are in dark chocolate may protect the skin from powerful UV rays. So bathing in chocolate is good, but it also smells good. And the girls had shared with me that when you run the bath water and it's hotter, get it hot, because just like hot cocoa, if you want it to dissolve in the tub, you need it kind of warm. So, girls, was there any more you want to share with us? Are you done? All right, thank you. Great job.
Oh, she has a question.
I do have one quick question. Do you use the whole jar of the chocolate for a bath, or do you just use so much of it?
Yeah, just this is,
Just about an eighth of a cup,
Okay.
fourth of a cup, quarter of a cup? or half a
that
cup?
whole amount that they just mixed up was for one bath.
Okay. There's 2 cups, that's what I have.
Yes, so it was a,
About a half.
It was an eighth cup of the unsweetened cocoa powder and a third cup of the dry milk.
so isn't that
2
easy?
cups is about a half.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so just a few little things about chocolate that's good for you. On the yucky and yummy, coming in, it's not the Snickers bar. There is nothing in a Snickers bar, maybe the nuts, that is good for you. So we're not here to say any kind of chocolate is going to be good for you. But the darker chocolates, and these, I was so happy to read about these. These are from Sam's Choice, but they're actually at Walmart, and they're high, not the highest quality, but good quality, respectable quality chocolates, and they're $1.98 a bar instead of $6.99. But these are delicious too. This is one of the fair trade and organic, those kind of things are good. But there's really only 3 things you have to remember about dark chocolate. And the cocoa or cacao, sometimes it's CA at the beginning, but so 90% is about as high as you'll see. I did see one that said 100%. And on the higher quality ones, they're not as bitter. They use things in it to sweeten it that are like cane sugar, natural products. But the second thing is the fewer the ingredients, like on this Sam's bar, it's chocolate liqueur, which is another acceptable thing, cocoa butter, which is what the fat in it comes from, sugar, the cacao powder, as they say, and then vanilla beans. So there's very little sugar and fat in this one, but 75% of the fats that are in the chocolate and the higher quality are good fats. They're the ones that we want and help. They say that if you eat no more than 1.5 ounces of dark chocolate a day, it may do things like lower your cholesterol, if that's your sweet for the day. You know, you have to be paying attention to others, but this actually works on reversing our cholesterol, which I was really happy to hear. And the same with, this one's 85%, and then there was 72%. And they have the lower percentages at Walmart as well. So I loved finding out some of this information I didn't really know, because my specialty is not in a chocolate class and the benefits of chocolate this way, but we thought we'd have fun with it and bring you a little more. But in my daytime, volunteer job, we have an organization called American Civility Association, and we founded it after Sandy Hook Elementary to prevent school violence and to end bullying in schools. And lo and behold, as we developed and researched and found out through neuroscience that there are actually brain tools that we can use, which we utilize, and we actually reduce bullying in schools up to 90% at St. John's Technical High School. They went from less than 30% of the kids graduating. Last year, they had 90% of the kids graduated after 5 years, but it went gradually up, 50%, and 70%, and 88.6%, and now 90% of them are graduating because they've developed a culture of kindness where they care about one another, and we have amazing testimonials from kids who want to be there. So we have elementary schools here locally, but we've reached over getting close to 35,000 students in the state of Florida. We have a lot of schools down in Polk and several other counties, Clay County, St. John's, Osceola. But it works, and we didn't realize that when we were teaching them just how to treat one another well, that their grades were going to go up. So that's where we got science involved and found out, how these brain tools can open the brain to learning. So I'm going to teach you one of those today as well. Let's see, so the 3 basic rules is to choose 70% chocolate or higher. Knowing if you're a novice, start with 55%. Even if you put a little topping on it, like on our tuxedo brownie cups, you're still getting the dark chocolate benefits, you're just getting a little extra sugar. And you want to choose low sugar. A good chocolate bar will have 10 to 15 grams or less, but it's hard to find less than 10, very hard to find that. So I think that was 3 things: dark, low sugar, and few ingredients. Easy breezy. And the higher the content, they say, the less room there is for the bad stuff. Okay? So one of the great benefits that I really hadn't been aware of, but that chocolate is an amazing antioxidant. Did you all know that? Anybody name any other antioxidants?
Blueberries?
blueberries, so. And cranberries. So in comparison, blueberries, they measure the antioxidants by oxygen radical absorbance capacity. In other words, ORACs. Blueberries have 2,400 ORACs. Dark chocolate, 13,120 ORACs. So isn't that a wow? That's a lot of antioxidants. So, you know, good excuse for our dark chocolate. And then this is just overall the antioxidant-rich diets, which no more than 1.5 ounces a day of the dark chocolate, but the antioxidant diets help prevent heart attack, stroke, cardiovascular disease, cancer, high blood pressure, cholesterol problems, arthritis, asthma, and Alzheimer's, and more research is showing that more and more. And some of the research comes through functional MRIs. How many have had an MRI before? Most have had an MRI. A functional MRI is one that shows the function of, for instance, the brain. So in the neuroscience, and we have a few of the sheets that were written by neuroscientists just for what we're doing with our program. But it's interesting if you're into that kind of thing. So I have 3 or 4 up there just in case someone's interested. But the functional MRIs actually shows what's happening when we do things like eat a piece of chocolate. So the girls are going to pass around, and we're going to do a chocolate experiment together. If y'all would hand these out, please. Now, what I'd like you to do, if here's one for you. If you'll do that side of it. Sorry, we got the 3/4 in here, but a little tight. So you'll see some are dark black paper and some are blue paper. The black is, and then there's a gold. Let's see. They're all dark, but the black, I believe, is the darkest. But it's up to you if you want a super dark or a regular dark. But you can open them, but we're going to put them in our mouths at the same time, okay? So hold them at the ready, and we'll tell you when to go. Yeah. No more than 1.5 ounces.
Well, how much is this?
Yeah, that's way less than an ounce, but on, so for instance, this is baking chocolate, so this is 4 ounces. You know, so, you know, it's reasonable. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what I want you to do, this is what dark chocolate does for the brain, is it releases those mood-enhancing chemicals, serotonin, for instance, and there's actually a physical effect from it. You know, you don't really have pain in your brain, but the rest of your body and just your overall mood, you will feel it. So that's the test, is to see if you're able to feel this. So what I'd like you to do is, when you get ready to put it in your mouth, just close your eyes. Right now, let's just breathe in and exhale, and just forget about all our troubles. And just wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit. Let's just get in touch with ourselves a little bit. And then with your eyes closed, go ahead and put it in your mouth. And we just want to be quiet and see if we can feel any of the effects. When I look around, I see some smiles. So, all right, so was anybody able to, no, we're kind of not going slowly on this, but anybody feel any effects from that. I see the smile, so that's a good thing. But you know, you can actually, on the darker chocolates, you might just feel a little tingling in your arms and legs, and you just feel happier. So we're grateful for chocolate in that way. And if we had time, you know, you can do this experiment at a party or whatever, but you can have different levels of the chocolate and see how everybody responds.
Is this 1.5 ounces?
No, I don't think it's that much. 1.5, you know, if we divided this, 4 ounces. So I'm not that great with math, but it'd be like 2 big squares. Yeah. Yeah, so this is 2 big squares of that, which are about that big. So you probably have 2 of those. I'm just guessing, but I'm not sure. You probably have to look on the product information. But that's a good question.
It's time.
Oh, it's time. Okay. Since it's time, I'm going to just do this little recipe and remind you on the way out to take a tasting kit with you and to drop your registrations. The prizes are a beautiful book from Martha Stewart that's about cakes. And there's a chocolate cherry spa with 3 different things in there, and then a chocolate cake. So some fun stuff. We got guests coming over. So these are the tuxedo brownies. I'm gonna let the girls pass those out while I tell you how I do those. Brooke, you can do it, Amy, and let them just take it, and you can help me with this. So I'm going to let Brooke just do like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of those. This is the dark chocolate brownie cups, and if you don't have pans, this is the size. I don't mean to insult anybody, but I knew nothing when I started cooking, so I'm just assuming somebody may be like I was. And I recommend the dark chocolate. I think what really makes this delicious is the topping, which has, it does have a little bit of just 2 squares of the white chocolate in it. It's got the light cream cheese is what I use. And then it's got powdered sugar, not a whole bunch, and cream cheese. So just simple Pampered Chef recipe that you have there. And then I think what makes it Martha Stewart-like, which is so easy, is putting the whipped topping on top and then garnishing it with some orange zest. And this is just a fun tool. I had a friend in Pampered Chef, and I learned so much from Melody Batchman. I'm not sure if she's still doing it, but you just slice up your strawberries. They also have this fast. I'm not selling Pampered Chef, I promise. I just love it. But it cuts the strawberries for you and shortens your time. And so we just put a little orange zest and a little piece of mint. And it's ready to go. But aren't they pretty little party things? So any questions? Is that it?
I happened to come upon somehow I got a bar of chocolate that has pepper in it.
Oh,
It's spicy.
It's a spicy chocolate.
yeah.
What to do with it?
Yeah, if it's probably, follow the same rules. If it's not baking chocolate, I don't think they melt. They don't do very well.
I don't have a question, but I do have a fun fact. Dark chocolate, chocolate chips fit perfectly well inside raspberries.
Ooh, that's fun.
Whoa.
What a brilliant thing someone found out.
And my final tool that I really want to leave with you is, and why God is getting so much credit here today, is that the way He designed us, what they've learned in these functional MRI studies, is that the part of the brain where stress and anxiety hangs out and takes up the oxygen in our brain actually makes it very difficult for the blood flow to get to the part of the brain where we learn. So kids are not able to learn if they're under stress and anxiety and bullying. But when we practice gratitude, it wants that same oxygen, and we choose. We can power through on gratitude or stress, but stress and gratitude will not coexist in the brain. Is that amazing? So when God says, in all things with thanksgiving, you know, he gave us chocolate, but he gave us gratitude. So that's my big lesson for the day.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. And if y'all will make sure that they get their treats done.
Sorry.
Drop in their little